We're playing a game I've played a little bit of recently. I haven't finished. I've gotten a decent way in. And I'm playing on default difficulty. And I'll let the intro sort of explain the premise, as intros typically do. Also, I don't know if you can hear, but it is raining outside, which is fun.
Control, we are typing clearance for shuttle launch. Initiate sample protocol.
Plan procedures, check. Test safety protocol, check.
Launch control to EMB Charon. All systems are go.
Launch is imminent. Personnel are instructed to evacuate the launch pad. Welcome on board, passengers.
Welcome on board indeed. So I'll be doing things while they're talking. I'll have to explain later, so I'll interrupt them.
Shuttle EMV Sharon is now docked. Sector 1 empowered and pressurized. Munchie decontamination protocol online. Disembarkation authorized. Message to crew members. Welcome on board the Typhoon, property of Dolus Aerospace Engineering Corporation. You will soon be given your assignments, but until then, please continue to wait near the docking bay. We hope you have a productive voyage, and would like to thank you for your contribution towards humanity's future. Administrator, I am Eden, the personal assistant installed on board the Typhoon. In accordance with the Munchie Protocol, I have been designed to take into consideration your complete psychological profile so that I may more accurately respond to any needs you may have. My primary purpose is to ensure the Typhoon's automated systems function efficiently. I will keep track of the tasks that are necessary for you to fulfill your prerogative of reaching Proxima Centauri and carrying out field research, mining operations, manufacturing protocols, and Dolos colonization tests.
Next transmission.
Administrator, I wanted to introduce you to your first tasks person. I'm Dolos' cryonics leader, Marduk Council member Giovanni Batista. So, let's see. Your first objective will be to begin setting up essential infrastructure aboard the Typhoon, meeting the environmental conditions that are required to support your crew. Having laid these foundations, you will then oversee the installation of the Volt engine and perform a short test jump to Proxima Centauri. Upon arrival, your research teams will carry out a brief survey of the local space, gather a few rock and coal dust samples, fire up the colonization protocol, begin building the foundations for mankind's future, yada yada yada. And then, you'll come back. Now, in order to achieve this, you'll need to familiarize yourself with the Typhoon's core functions. It's no big deal. There's the production, stockpiling and distribution of resources, construction, balancing of power output with allocation. Oh, and space exploration, you know, setting out expeditions and all that. Basically, everything needed to establish scientific advancement and harmonious autonomy on board the Typhoon, following the first test of its Vol engine. Eden's gonna display and keep track of your main objectives. Oh, and Administrator, don't let the position go to your head. Kinnear has insisted to center Dolos' focus on the Typhoon. But this mission is just in preparation for our next project, the Protagoras. The Marduk Council worked damn hard to pull this mission together ahead of schedule. So, toe the line, do as you're told, and bring the Typhoon back in one piece. Leave the grand gestures and saving of mankind from ecosystemic destruction to us, okay? One last word of advice. We don't all think like the mere Dolos. As of yet, no human law has been officially established amongst the stars. That sounds like an opportunity knocking to me.
Administrator, I have established a connection with Dolos' lead data scientist, Emma Blaine.
Administrator, Mr. Dolos has made it abundantly clear when it comes to security. Given the importance of the Typhoon, we must have full control over what is happening inside the station. My name is Emma Klein, Dolos' lead data scientist and member of the Marduk Council. My department have just completed final synchronization between Eden and our data treatment tool, the DLS. The DLS, or Data Listening System, is capable of scanning, recording, and parsing exchanges of any kind. The DLS programming that is a part of Eden will filter all data collected and bring to your attention only the most relevant information. It will also provide you with a condensed overview of any situations that may arise and formulate potential future outcomes. It will permit you to give direct orders without having to go through additional unnecessary paperwork. Eden will then take care of everything via their DLS accreditation, as is often the case with tools produced by my department. I think you'll find that once you start using the DLS, you'll never be able to do without it. Oh, and before I let you go ahead and start writing history, Dr. Munchie, our lead medical expert, wanted me to bring to your attention a possible side effect of vol jumping. Whilst there's a correlation between prolonged space travel and the development of early onset dementia, he believes that a vol jump has the potential to accelerate this process, although this is yet to be proven. His recommendation is for you to immediately send any crew members that are exhibiting uncharacteristic or symptomatic behavior to an infirmary, as these facilities are equipped to treat the mind as well as the body. Remember that all of your actions and choices are being reported by Eden. We are not affiliated with any national or even international organization. The only people that you are answerable to are those of us who sit on the Marduk Council, who represent the collective interests and ambitions of the company.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
Crew members are unable to access food supplies because there's no mess hall. Build one according to protocol. Alright. now that we've got all that out of the way, it's basically, due to the space restrictions, this is placed bad. How would I even use this space right here? Sure, it looks cool, all surrounded by roads and all that, but I'm good, actually. I'm pretty good. So I'm just going to place that up there. And then that's all is needed. I'll just I'll just place it there for the time being. I can always move it later anyways. But the main thing I want to do is I want to clear out all the space so I can get things roughly where I want them and not have to move things too much by building immediately. So like the infirmary, for example. I haven't placed that down yet because I don't need it. And I really don't have a good spot for it at the moment. But just to have it, I'll place one there, and then build a road over there, build a road like that, and then place down a few more of those.
Administrator, I have an incoming transmission from Marduk Council member Henry Bargeville.
Bonjour, Administrator. What a wonderful day to embrace our fate, don't you think? I'm Henri Bargeville, writer, philosopher, lobbyist, but most of all member of the Marduk Council. I have taken the liberty of personally arranging an exchange, out of courtesy with the Oceanabee, a ship in high orbit belonging to one of our commercial allies, the Ashtongites. Even though they are a small organization, the Ashtongites are important partners who share the same pragmatic, moralistic, and spiritual outlook as we do. The Oceanabee will provide us with a source of food whilst carrying out the Tycoon's initial testing. By making it the first exclusive trade partner of the Tycoon, we will demonstrate to our long-term allies that Dolos wishes for them to share in our successes. Please assign a cargo ship so that we can check the trade routines. Administrator, trust in genetic kinetics. Self-similar space will reveal the pattern.
Alright, so now we have to use one of these, get a cargo ship up. They have a person, also a science ship. These are what these little symbols are for. The alloys that we gather here, building materials. Polymers are building materials, but for space. Which makes sense.
Administrator, a new request awaits your attention.
And then here is a request, because homelessness is an indicator of civilizational decay. So, fix it. And fix it we shall. Now, because I have been building some housing units, once this is built and then this, that'll be everything. And then you see they have exactly 100 polymers in this area. You really don't need more than that. And they are all being rushed away. You just need the one cargo ship and science ship. That is all. And then over here, sort of out of the way, I will have my first designated factory. Okay, so we go into the fleet management. We'll be able to take a look at our cargo ship, retrieve the food. Make that the top priority in its automated mission set thingy. Let's see, what else? Food. Oh no, that's another mess hall. Don't do mess hall just yet. You might need one later, but for the time being, not required. And then place down another one of these, because the more expensive building is, the longer it takes to recycle. So anyways, now we've got our science ship up and running, the Calypso. So we'll take it to the moon, and here we see the solar system map. So it's traveling from nearby our ship. Here's the other ship. Now it's going to the moon to go on a little expedition.
Has arrived at its destination.
It has arrived. Alright, so it's an old UN base up here, out of commission, but we could restore power. It's just the only reason power is not on yet is because they turned it off on the left. Depressurized surveillance system still operational. Well, let's hack into it and retrieve some confidential data, let's call it. And you notice it takes one cycle to do. We've got some cycles in the bottom right. This is rotation of the station, so it's not tied to being on a planet, because we are a spaceship. That would be rather arbitrary. Why would we concern ourselves with the sun?
A science ship team has completed a task.
So we hacked in and retrieved some research paper and data sets. Next, we will dismantle the base because no one else is using it, and clearly they didn't care about the materials or they would have brought them back. So we'll just take it off their hands, let's say. And then we'll have some tech points.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Science ship collects science whenever it's not actively doing a thing, so I'll just let that play out. It's gathered all the science. Next up, we just dismantled it. A lot of equipment was damaged, most of it even, but we were able to grab some resources. Now, if we go to the fleet manager, tell it to pick it up. And then once these trucks arrive, there we go, that dissolves. So now, place that down, fill in that bit of road. This drains 75, so we'll be able to knock these out. just pretty this up a little bit. And then we don't need that anymore. It's gathered all the science. Okay. We will go to Mars. Surely there is something interesting on Mars.
Administrator, I have an incoming transmission from Dolus's head of medicine, Dr. Abhinav Mukherjee.
Greetings, Administrator. I'm Dr. Abhinav Mukherjee, Dodo's expert in compartmentalism and medicine, and a member of the Modern Council. I'm glad to finally meet you, even in this digital manner. Your psychological test results were quite impressive. My friend and colleague, Philip Stanford, couldn't be here today, so I will take the role of introducing you to the final stages of the whole engine integration. Before we get into that, however, we would like you to complete the testing station's exploration and enhancement capabilities. You'll then be able to begin researching the EVA airlock and assess its compatibility with the Tycho's core systems. I hope that the work of our team will ensure that you're equipped to deal with most situations you encounter up there. Before I leave you, Stanford would like me to remind you that space is a far less fanciful and forgiving environment than science fiction would have us believe. It would be wise to remember that.
Alright, so now they're indicating that they're being overworked. So we will request additional staff. Temporarily turn that off, that way they're not being overworked while we wait. And okay, the UN has a facility on Mars, but there's a critical fault in their oxygen supply, and they've submitted an official request for aid. So we will transport the materials ourselves to help in exchange for some research material. And also tell this, once it's done, transport some people over. Now, do we have the available space for them? No, we do not. But it's fine. We can make room. And we'll just overwork for a little bit, it's fine. We need the EVA airlock. Just turn off the infirmary.
The ship team has completed a task.
Alright. It's been repaired, and the relationship has gone up by 42%. Let's go. So gather the 10 tech points. Not many for the amount of resources we spent this early on when we have no way of getting more, but oh well. Next, Saturn. Okay, we've researched the EVA airlock. Now, we don't have much power, so we'll have to turn that off. And then build the airlock. This will be quite expensive, about as expensive as this one box. I noticed workers number is only 75 because 5 here, 1 here, used to be 85. So, take that into consideration. Now I could even... I do have the room in this airlock, docking bay thing, to build another ship, but there's just no need to, so I'm good.
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Alright. Saturn. There's a signature trace detected from a system that is the proprietary technology, and in fact exclusive property of our company, but we have no record from the company of doing anything here. And will soon enter the atmosphere. Now, soon makes me think that I only have time to do one of these actions. So, we could try to analyze the residue and find the origin once it's passed through the atmosphere. Or, investigate right now. Alright. So now this has unlocked the build pane menu, and you see there are solar panels to provide some electricity, which we badly need. It does take polymers for this level, and later on it will get more and more expensive because 10 is, well, it's not the most. We also have to strap this thing on. The Valhalla engine instead of the engine we found traces of near Saturn. So, once we get the solar panel up, turn this back on. Okay, it's been built. Next, research. Well, food's a bit low, so we'll do the insect farm. And then we will start building the engine just to get that task done. No reason to delay. And yes, we are currently researching insect farms.
Science ship team has completed a task.
Alright, let's take a look. It was a prototype rocket sent by the UN using a variation of the engine. We stripped it down, covered the schematics, worth 10 points. And yep, the other option did disappear, because no point in locating it when we have stripped it down for parts. Makes sense. Oh, incoming transmission.
Administrator, because of your continued successful management of the Tycoon, Dolos have authorized the dispatch of new crew members and food supplies. Please ensure that they have suitable accommodation once you reach Proxima Centauri.
Okay, I'll just demolish those to make room. Check the fleet management. Yep, 100 new people, 10 food. Alright, while that's happening, I will research the last thing. The probe launcher. Oh boy, I wonder what new and exciting things we might discover out there. just move these over a little bit.
Administrator, more than 50% of the Tycoon's population are lacking quarters. Administrator, the different phases of preparation, calibration, and verification were successfully completed. You must now start the role binding procedure. Dolos protocols now deem you competent to gather resources, knowledge, and test colonization routines once you reach Proxima Centauri. Before you do so, Vanir Dolos, Marduk Council founder and Dolos CEO, wants to talk to you.
Hello, Administrator. I'm glad to see that you have managed to complete your assignments in preparation for this unique moment in history. You must understand that this is not simply another chapter in humanity's story. The book of our life on Earth is over, and we stand now at its epilogue. It saddens me to think that there are many who have yet to comprehend the reality of our situation. We've endured endless cycles of war, crisis, and famine. Still, the worst is yet to come. There are others like Dolos who have prepared for this outcome, but most of our kind remain sheltered from the horror of the predicament we find ourselves in. This pale ghost of civilization will wither and die, and with it, the tenets and values of the past. As we prepare to leave this system for the first time, perhaps we must decide which fragments we will pick up and take forward with us. Through Dolos, I am offering mankind an alternative means of survival. The Tycoon is a tablet upon which we will carve our new history. Do you recognize why I have done all of this? Having foreseen our fate, I became fixated on altering it. I set about fashioning the ropes and tying the knots that would bind together this magnificent ship. It is true that our time in this world is brief, but at least I can rest assured knowing that my legacy will endure for eons. Farewell, Administrator. For the few who stand in the light, and the many who dwell in the dark, you carry the fate of us all.
Well, that could just be a happy pep talk, or extremely ominous. So now we will test moving the ship. With the normal engine, not the special one. We're going to build the special one over the moon instead of over the Earth. Presumably for safety reasons, just in case. Alright, so now we're going to install it here, but first, let's build some probes. Because, well, we may as well take a look, right? Plus, we should have some homes by the time we get to our new destination, right? We should have some housing. So let's take a look and, oh, okay. There's one spot. Let's see. It reminds me a lot of the probe minigame from Mass Effect 1. Let's send our little probe. That's the only spot that showed any results, so let's see what happens. Can I move my science ship preemptively over there? No, I have to do it to a destination. Okay, makes sense. They don't want to just fly out to the middle of nowhere. Valid. Valid. Okay, it's getting closer. It's getting closer. Well, hello. Unauthorized access, question mark, question mark, question mark, from Dolos. But they didn't tell us it existed. I'm hurt. I am hurt. How could they break my trust like this?
A science ship has arrived at its destination.
Well, let's take a look. Warning. By proceeding beyond this point, you are breaching the terms of your contract with Dolos. When I see a blue button that says Naomi Protocol, that opens a rat back door with outer hope, I have to. This is Marta Councilmember Rabia Neocon. Oh, this is the protocol one for about feeding people. You are not authorized. The purpose of this facility is for classified projects far away from the prying eyes of comparison media conglomerates of Earth. Do you not realize that the whole world is watching at this moment and that your presence could jeopardize this entire operation? I will file a complaint unless you can do something to change my mind. Sure. I can do that. Okay, we've got it all onto the ship, and it's flying away. Look at it go.
A science ship team has completed a task.
Thank you, Administrator. Now leave. I will ensure that Doulos issues a public statement that rationalizes our contact. But you'll need to explain your actions later. You might have heard we're working on the next version, the Protagoras. Yes, that was mentioned earlier. This operation must succeed for the next step. And then they say some mumbo jumbo. Okay. Go to the moon. We have to have all of our ships ready to board before we can launch. And to press the blue button. Oh, let's check it on the food. It's doing okay. Not the best, but I mean, the science ship is slow. Well then, it will soon be time to launch.